Welcome back to the Conscious Salon podcast.
Thank you.
It's been a little while, Tess, since we've been solo. We've always got guests or Taya or someone around.
Someone else, yeah. We're strapped at the minute. Do either of you two want to hop on? You can come in if you'd like.
Producer Ali or producer
It'll just be, little old us today.
Little old us. Yeah. But we want to talk all things consistency, discipline, and becoming weapons, because we're actually in weapon season at the moment.
We are.
And this one simple swap act. You've always sort of been a weapon, actually. You're the wrong guest to have on.
I have. Weaponry is my thing.
Weaponry is your
and then
thing.
slogan T-shirts just under that.
Yeah, Tess has become very
this is a funny
fond
one,
of a slogan T-shirt. Thanks, it's the trauma. We can all see it. It's
also,
great.
I'm a bit prickly with you, Nikki, if I'm going to be honest.
Okay.
I've had a major renovation, a major makeover, and you haven't made any comments yet.
Is it the jet black hair?
It's the jet black hair.
Yes. I have
It
not,
wasn't
I
will say it's not an intentional
I don't think it was an intentional
makeover.
thing.
No, it was me doing my own colour at home and thinking I'll just tone this a bit.
Tone it a bit.
And then
it just, I feel like I can say comfortably, it washes you out. The light hair looks much better
I mean,
on you.
it probably doesn't help that I'm wearing grey and white.
The dark's still beautiful. It's still beautiful. It's having its moment. But we've had a bit of an upgrade. You've gone dark with the hair.
I wouldn't say it's an upgrade. I'd say it's a side step.
A side step.
That's what happens. You know, you get these really humbling moments, and I was like, oh, I reckon I'd still be good on the tools. You know, we're coming up to Christmas time. The girl's like, what are you prepared to do on the floor? And I was thinking about it. Not much anymore because I can't even colour my hair the right colour. This is actually just meant to be a light tone. And we've got the jet black. And this is bicarbed out as well.
Yeah, wow.
That's good, isn't it?
I look forward to seeing that fade out.
Yeah. Well,
it looks shiny and
the
stunning.
shine you can't argue with. That's actually what my mother-in-law said when she saw it. Blue black when she saw it. She said, I just love the shine. I was like, oh, yes, it's
gorgeous, but having seen you with lighter hair, the lighter hair is much more flattering. But that's just me.
As soon as I saw it, I was like, oh, Nikki will love this.
Yes, but while Tess has been busy getting the hair upgrades, we have been really honing. I feel like the biggest thing that we've been honing in on at the moment has been encouraging our clients to have more discipline and more structure. And you've been a person who's always had a lot of discipline and structure, but I've really found the world of fitness and health, and it's something that I have never prioritized because I've always been like, business is my priority. And it was really interesting. About maybe 6 weeks ago, we were on a call with our mentor, and I had this massive epiphany of like, whoa, I just realized that my biggest gap at the moment is my health and fitness. And if I plugged into my health and fitness and treated it as it was the most important thing in my life, the way that I do with business, you know, like nothing gets in the way of me and a deadline that I have, or
nothing
me
gets in the way of Nikki and a graph.
Yeah, me and a fucking laptop.
Google link or
100% Google Doc. 100%. My work ethic is like second to none. And I feel like I've always been a weapon in business, and it's opportune great things for me, and like it's been amazing. But I had this massive realization that every single day I am not prioritizing my health, and what would my life look like if I prioritize my health? And like, would there be something to the whole thing of like endorphins and, you know, exercise being good for you? I was like, oh, maybe there's something to it. I may as well try this on.
And
it was really interesting. When I say that I was like the most sedentary person on the planet, I mean that. And I literally,
She had the data to prove it.
I have data to prove it. So I went and bought an Apple Watch. Cool. So I put the Apple Watch on the day before, and I hadn't tracked anything. And I was just like, okay, cool. I start my program tomorrow. Start my program tomorrow. So I hired a trainer, hired a nutritionist, you know, got a food plan, got the Apple Watch, you know, did all the things. Put the Apple Watch on the day before, just take it for a little test drive, and I just, you know, sit at my computer, do my thing. When I say I was so fucking sedentary, you're going to die at this. The day that before I started tracking my numbers, I looked back at my data and I literally had 874 steps for the whole day. For the whole day.
Did you have it on?
Yes. I had it on for the whole day, and I really was like, oh, I'm moving a lot. I'm not kidding. 874.
This should have like burnt out. It's got so much movement.
I was just at my desk. I was
Yeah.
literally at my desk. I walked to my car, drove solely to school, came home, went up to my office, sat at my desk, did a couple of weeks, and I was like,
you're not doing what's the thing, like floor after floor of steps.
No. But like I was like, there's sedentary, and then there's me. I'm like, what's underneath that? Because like short of the fact that I still had
between sedentary and coffin
and no pulse, I was like 874 steps.
That's wild. That is.
I think River has done more steps than that today, and he doesn't even walk. I can't
now we're going to get really silly.
Anyway, so the first day that my coach was like, okay, you got to do 10,000 steps. I walked in and I was like, how? I was like, I've been walking for
Oh, no.
I was like, I have been walking for literal hours. I was like, how do people work full time and do 10,000 steps a day?
I can't.
Anyway, so the first day it was like, I literally felt like it was the hardest thing ever. And then when she was like, I was like, I have to do workouts as well. So it was unbelievably difficult. But doing the first 10,000 steps, I literally called you and I was like, how do you do so many steps in a day? Because obviously like the day before, 874. And since then I have like, honestly, hardest thing one of the hardest things that I have ever done was that first week of being like, every day I have to do 10,000 steps, which some people will be listening to this being like, you don't deserve an Apple Watch. No, they'll be like, you're just there'd be people who would smash 10K steps easily. But for me, it was really, really difficult.
Absolutely.
Like unbelievably difficult. And as I said, business has always been my number one priority. And I really made a deal with myself. Like negotiation is off the table for the next, for the foreseeable future, forever probably. But one of the biggest things that I've realized in the past 6 weeks is removing that ability to negotiate with myself has been completely life-changing. And doing the program, like the workouts and the steps and nutrition and things like that, and making my health my number one priority has made business so much better. And I think there's like so much to this because you've always been a weapon with the gym and health and everything, and you've always banged on about the fact that
not always. If you're getting the very pivotal moment where I was over 100 kilos and like very unwell, and like that was a decent chunk of time. That wasn't just a small moment. But I think there is really something to that, like the way that we can be so disciplined in some ways and not in others, and. This is something like for me, movement has always been a big part of supporting me. Like it really helps me with my neurodivergency. It like helps me we've always had the joke that I'm like a border collie. I need to go out and have a smell of like I need to go for even if it's just a walk any day. It doesn't matter if it's like raining. It doesn't matter what the situation is. I truly need that the way that Missy, my dog, also needs it. Like we both need that. We struggle a lot if it's raining. Actually, often we just put on our raincoats and go out and stomp around in the puddles. But it is something that's such a support to me. But there are also parts of it, like, so you actually inspired me with this. I've had a up and down dynamic and like relationship with yoga for years. I've been like, it's been such a anchor for me for like many, many years. And then the last few years, I've really stepped away from that. And since you have started on this last week, I was like, cool, I'm going to do one of my 30-day yoga challenges, and I'm just going to be like, no matter what's going on, I'm going to make sure that every single day I'm doing yoga. Every day I've got like all of the access. I'm like in all of the clubs. I've got all of the things. This is such a big part. I always love it when I start, but actually like that's the thing that I start negotiating out. And since you
always feel good after.
Yeah.
Like sex.
Well, I have to negotiate that sometimes too. But even with that, having that decision of like, I'm absolutely going to make this, like, I'm going to be the person that I say that I am. I'm going to commit to this. And just starting and just being like, cool, we say this a lot, but I feel like only recently we've really started embodying it. My word is law. Our word is law in so many aspects of our lives.
Of business.
Yes.
Yeah.
But then we come into other parts and it's like, cool, my word is law with like my steps and like that's a very normal part of it. But there are other parts that I will always rationalize away. But I don't have the energy for that now. I'll do it tomorrow or like whatever it is. And it is one of those things. We've got a deadline. If we've got a thing, like even today when we were like getting down here today, you know, weather was terrible. My son wouldn't wake up this morning. I knew I had to be on call at 8:30 and 9 a.m. All of those as I was driving down towards dropping River off. 8:30 he sent me a message being like, where are you? Now, me being the silly girl that I was, I hadn't checked that my Zoom had still logged in on my phone because I'm never on Zoom on my phone. So I'm re-downloading that. That's getting the verification, all these things. So many aspects. So that starts blowing out that discipline side. As soon as I got there, I was like, cool, I'm going to make sure I'm on call with that no matter what. No matter what the situation is, I'm going to make sure that I'm there. I was a bit late, but I was there. I make sure that I'm there for the next call, pulled over, present, being able to do the things. It's one of the being here, leaving here. We have like such a regimented way and like our showing up for people that are depending on us and counting on us, we make sure that we're there. And if we're not there or not able to do it, there's an exceptional reason for that. And it is one of those things where we can be so disciplined in one aspect of our lives, but the complete opposite in another. And I think you've really embodied that with having that awareness of like, cool, I've given all of my discipline and structure and focus to my business. And now I'm going to start implementing that for myself. And how do you feel with that?
Yeah, it's been really interesting to just be like, as an experiment, let's see what this does for business. My self-regulation has been so much better. My mentality, like my business mentality has been so much better. My presence has been so much better. And just not worrying about, not even taking care of the shit that just doesn't matter. Like there's been so many different things that I've delegated out where I've just been like, that doesn't need my attention because that's my gym time. That doesn't need my attention because I need my time to get my steps in. Who else can take care of this? Like the delegation has become next level. And I just think what it's opened up for me in terms of my peace of mind has been insane. Even just I understand why you love lifting weights in your gym because the first time I went to the gym was like hysterical. I have to share this. What's this guy called? Pull down.
Lat pull down.
Lat pull down.
Yeah.
Lat pull down? Yeah. Lat pull down. So I've obviously never seen any of these machines and I'm like, I've got an online trainer. So I like watch a video of her doing it. And then I'm like, okay, I have to try and do that. So I watched the video and I'm like, okay, cool. Yeah, I think it's that machine over there. But I was like, it looks a little bit different to what I can see in the picture. In the picture, there's like a big horizontal bar that people hold on to and pull that down with the weights on it. And I was like, mine looks different. It's just got like a little hook. But I was like, well, who am I to argue? I think it's the same thing. So I'll just put the weight in that I want, which is like 1 kilo. And then I grabbed onto the little hook and I put my 2 like pointer fingers into the little hook. And I was like, this feels ridiculous, but who am I to argue with? I'm not a weightlifter. I was like, I don't know what I'm supposed to feel like. So I put my little fingers into the hook and I started to pull down and it was killing my pointer fingers. Like it was really heavy.
That
and I was like,
all the focus is in your
obviously,
fingers.
obviously. It was so heavy. And I was like pulling it down, did my 10 reps, put it back, 3 sets of those. And then not one motherfucker in that gym came over and said, you're obviously new, let me help.
They're all getting their own content.
No, 100%. I was like, this will be on TikTok somewhere. But I was like pulling the things down. So my 2 little fingers like this, pulling it down. and then 10 minutes later, I was on a different machine. And I was like, wait, there's the bar that I recognize the thing. And
to go on to it.
You
clip that on.
You clip that on. I had no idea.
So just the point that I really like of that is that you've had the video, you've watched her do it and then gone
like that. That's what I did.
Captain Hook.
For 10 minutes.
Ridiculous. So yeah, I mean that might need some refinement, but yeah, that's good. I like the tenacity.
1 day at a time though.
Like, yeah, totally. And you bet your ass that those like when you were on your keyboard later, this is the strongest fingers.
The strongest fingers. But it really has been a game changer. And I think that, you know, it has taken me such a long time to get consistent and do this and actually introduce this into my life. But it's been 6 weeks. I haven't missed a day.
Yeah.
And it's been truly, hand on heart, the most life-changing, business evolving, different level, and even just the level of consistency and the self-trust that I feel because I haven't negotiated with myself and I haven't, like, I've obviously got a really long way to go in my fitness journey and I'm really excited for that, but I haven't negotiated with myself at all. There's been no negotiation, and the level of self-trust that I feel now with removing that negotiation has completely transformed so much of what we do in business.
Wow.
Yeah. It's been
so cool.
Life-changing.
Yeah.
Life-changing. I don't know why I was never inspired by when you'd be like, do you want to go for a walk? And I'd be like, oh, fuck, more walking.
Well, I feel like, and so much of this, I believe, comes from the fact that we have this, when we look at thinking of doing things for our business, there's a reason for it, right? Like we can prioritize that because we know if we do this, we're going to get X. And even though we know that with fitness and movement in any aspect, and look, like I'm also sitting here going like, we don't represent like what like typical, you know, active people look like. But I really embrace that. I'm like, yeah, fuck yeah. Like I like the fact that I can lift, I'm strong, I'm powerful, I can lift so heavy. But this is one of those things where it can be something that we negotiate out or we don't prioritize because of the fact that we know that that's going to be hard because it's going to, like, it literally has a physical element to it where it looks, you know, you're going to get sweaty, you know, you're going to be out of breath, you know, you're going to be tired, you know, you're going to like, it's literally going to take energy from you. So it is one of those things where we can delay that. There will also be people that will hear business things. They will be able to prioritize the gym stuff. And like I fell into this for ages and not prioritize, you know, doing book work or doing admin or doing numbers or whatever it is. Or and it's all relevant. Like this all plays out in one way or another way. And it's not just around those subjects. It's around multiple different subjects and things that you can add this into. But there'll be parts of your life where you are so disciplined and structured. What we're saying is the parts of your life where you're not feeling disciplined and not feeling structure, let's start leaning into that. Because if you start giving that some of your attention and just not negotiating with yourself, not deviating from it, just going, cool, I'm going to, 1 week, I'm going to show up every single day to this thing, no matter what. Every day I'm going to show up for X amount and do this. And I'm going to see how I feel at the end of 7 days, because I guarantee how they're feeling at day 1 versus day 7. They're going to feel, first of all, really proud of the fact that they've been consistent and like said, like actually lived out being the person that they say that they're going to be. But they're also going to realize it's probably not as big as what you thought it was. Because what happens when we start negotiating is we put that off and then we put it off for longer and then we put it off again. Then suddenly we've got to play catch up.
Yeah.
And catch up is really fucking hard.
Yeah, it's huge, isn't it?
Yeah.
Just when you were saying that then, like the thing of just being like, I want to prioritize business. Like I would never prioritize health or fitness because I'd be like, well, I'd rather work on the business. I'd rather work on the business. And for you, it was like, I'd rather work on my health than work on the business.
Yeah.
But it's been really interesting us leaning into each other's, you know, zone of genius and playing in that realm. It's been life-changing. So
absolutely.
I hope that inspires someone today.
Let's do 3 tangible tips. That's always helpful.
Okay, cool.
First one, 7 days. That's what you need to do.
7 days. I love that one.
A 7-day choice of something you're going to be working on and showing up to that every single day.
Mine's tip 2 is fast fucking action. Like I decided this, we were on a call on Thursday. I spoke about it, spoke it out loud. And I said, I think the biggest hole for me right now, or the biggest gap for me right now is that I don't prioritize my health. Within 24 hours, I'd hired a trainer, a nutritionist, and I joined a gym. Fast action. What's your last one?
Last one, I think really like push through the discomfort of this, push through the negotiating, push through when we start reasoning and rationalizing and trying to like get our way out of it. Just 7 days of doing this with no exceptions. Don't reason, no negotiating, nothing. My word is law. This is what I'm doing. Execute. Go and do that. Let's see how you feel at the end of the 7 days.
Love. I'm going to play back this episode when I feel like demotivated and I'm like, fuck it, let's do 800 steps today.
Exactly right.
Thank you guys so much for listening to another episode of the Conscious Salon podcast.
Love you guys. Stay conscious.